Hello and welcome back. This is the third video about the game I'm working on called Kingdome Ragemore, and in this video I'm going to show you how to fight a boss. So the boss fight is actually completely different than fighting these regular monsters. First of all, when you're fighting a boss, you will be able to perform some of these actions that are on the board. So normally when you're fighting normal enemies, you just attack. Here against the boss, you can parry, you can roll, you can block, you can attack, and you can use flasks. From in previous video, I got one insight by clearing up the land. If you remember, I managed to clear all the monsters on the land. I got the loot and I got insight. What insight is giving me is ability to actually see the boss attacks. Normally, if you don't have insight to spend, during the whole time fighting the boss, these cards go face down and then flipped one by one from left to right and then deal one by one. But if I have an insight to spend, which I do, you draw, in this case, 3 attacks per round. That's a little number close to the Roman number 3. And I will flip them all and be able to form some kind of a tactic. Okay, so let's fight the boss. I'm going to use the insight. By the way, this is upgrade token, but I still don't have insight token. Eventually I'm going to make it. And now from the whole fight, I will be able to see the attacks the boss is going to use. Boss has 2 special attacks, Storm Axe and Lightning, which we shuffle inside this deck. So that's something he's going to do. How this works, each round of combat, I'm going to draw 3 cards, deal with them. Any cards that I manage to stop will be discarded. Whatever cards are left going to be damaged to me. Similar to when fighting monster, but now you're fighting like each attack from a boss. And combat's going to last until either me or the boss is dead. Boss has 34 health. I place his health here on the board. And I have 12 health, 14 stamina, some mana, and that's it basically. I have my short sword and a buckler. So let's start and you'll see how that works. So I'm going to shuffle this deck again and I'm going to draw 3 cards. So normally this is how you draw cards and do them if you don't have insight. So you flip the 1 and deal with the 1, then the second and so on. But since I have an insight, I'm actually going to see all the movements both going to do. And I can react to them in any order I want. So for instance, I can react to this first, then this, any order. But if you don't have insight, it's from left to right, one by one, and you don't know what's coming. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have a charge attack, we have a critical strike, and we have a special attack, which is with a Storm Axe. So what's important here is haste. Haste is basically what I need to beat with my dice roll. If I get equal or higher, I will be able either to roll out of the attack or maybe block it or parry it, or I can even attack during the boss attack, but then we just trade blows. But you can see here that this charge attack has a parry ability, which means I can parry it if I have a means to do so. And I actually have a buckler which give me ability to parry, and it's actually +1. So how this works, I will choose dice to use. Now, important rule is that you remember when you're fighting monster, you can choose any number of dice to use. But when you're fighting a boss, the maximum number of dice you can use is basically 3. So that's how much dice I can use. So 1 to 3 dice you can choose to use during a boss fight. So there is a limit here. Of course, you're also limited by your stamina, but that's logical. Okay, so what I'm thinking to do here is try to parry. And then if I'm successful, you can actually see here on the board, it says, let me bring this closer. Parry. Successful parry will cause stagger. So if I successfully parry this attack, I will get this stagger token, which I immediately place onto that attack, and that gives me ability to do a critical hit. Once the boss is staggered, I can do a critical hit. You'll see how that worked if I manage to pass this. Okay, so let's try to parry this charge attack. Now, I could try to deal with these first, but I think my best option right now is to try to parry, do a critical, and maybe try to evade these two. So that's my tactic right now. All right, so like always, I'm going to choose dice to use. Using dice cost stamina, and this is a haste 8, so I think I can pass with a d6 and d8 just to be sure. I'm gonna get that parry, so I'm gonna use 2 dice. So d6 and d8, that's gonna cost me 5 stamina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's try. I need 8 or more on these 2 dice. And I got a 5. So my parry failed. That's a 5 plus 1, that's a 6, lower than 8, so I didn't manage to parry the attack. Now, here comes the good thing. I can try to parry it again. The problem is I have 2 dice locked. So I just basically lost 2 dice trying to parry the first time. Failed. It's not it's gonna hit me immediately. Basically, whatever the cards are left here in the end of the round, that's how much damage I'm gonna take. But looking at what's left, I think my best option right now is just to try to roll. So roll, basically rolling to avoid damage. Successful roll will negate damage from a boss and give the advantage. So I might actually do I might actually just do 3 rolls just to try to evade all these attacks. Why? Because here's the thing. I cannot parry the special, nor I can block it. Same thing with this one, critical strike. With the roll, you can always roll. If I attack one of these attacks that he is performing, I will hit him, and depending do I pass the haste, either I'm gonna hit him and take damage, or I'm gonna miss and still take damage, which I really don't want to do. Or I can try to parry again, but then I'm probably not gonna have enough dice. Alright, so let's see what are my options here. If I try to parry again, I mean I can use a d20 to parry, but that's gonna cost me 6 stamina. And right now I'm 9, that's gonna be only 3 stamina left, which means I will not be able to roll out from these other attacks. And if you look at other attacks, this is d12 damage plus 3 from a boss itself, and this is just straight 18 damage plus 3. So he can kill me with these 2 strikes. So my best option is try to roll out of these bad and maybe take a damage here from this charge attack. So let's try to roll out of this one first. So I need 10 or more. For this, I'm gonna use d20 and I'm just gonna use d20. This could be actually really short game. Alright, so that's gonna cost me 6 stamina. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 stamina left. Just to try to roll and avoid this strike. I need 10 or more. That's a 15. That's perfect. So I'm gonna roll and avoid this attack. So I can immediately discard it because it was successful. And I will get the advantage token. Now this token can be applied anytime during the round on any other attack that is available. And this is how it works. You place it on the card and then I can attack. Normally when I attack here, the enemy will hit me back. Doesn't really matter if my attack succeeds or not, we're gonna trade blows. But when you have the advantage, if my attack is successful, I will hit that damage and above, but I will not receive damage back. So I'm thinking to, yeah, let's do here on this critical strike. That will also stop the attack because I'm gonna resolve it. Whenever you place the advantage on the card and finish with it, it's gonna be discarded. So I'm kind of safe from this attack, but I could miss and just lose all my stamina. And I'm only 3 stamina left. And with the 3 stamina, I can only use... Oh wait, this should be here. I can only use D4 or nothing else, basically. So I will have to use one of my die to get some stamina back, and then I can try to attack and just take this much damage on the D10. So I think I'm gonna use my D10 to get some stamina back. Okay, 9. This also tells me that because I'm probably not going to be able to do nothing about this, I will take 9 plus 3 damage. Ooh, that's 11. I'm almost going to be dead from the first hit. Oof. But I think it's going to be worth it. Now I could just squander this advantage and not use it for attack and just try to roll out from attack, but I'm thinking to take some damage but to the boss, but I'm just gonna also take some damage back. There is no avoiding it right now. So now you see how it's tough to fight these bosses. It's not an easy deal, especially when you don't have some like tokens and abilities which you can get later on. Right now I don't have nothing. I have this insight and that was that. But there are some tokens that can give you rerolls. You can get some dice back, refresh your dice and stuff like that. All right, let's try to. Anyway, I get 9 stamina back. That brings me to 11. And now I think I'm gonna use a D4 and D12 to attack here. I need more than 8, and then if I roll more than 8, my attack will be successful. It's gonna hit and everything's gonna be damage. If it's lower, it's gonna be a miss, but I'm not gonna take damage back in any case. Then we're gonna discard this card. Okay, let's see. I'm hoping for a big number here. Okay, how much is that? 14. 14 is not bad. 14 is not bad at all. So 14 plus 1, that's 15. So from 34 is gonna go to 19. I think that's right. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15. Yeah, it's gonna be 19. So 15 half is 15 and 4, yeah, 19. 19 health left. That was a big hit for me. I get this back and this is discarded. But now I don't have any more dice to use. So I take D10 damage, which in this case is 9, plus 3. You can see additional T from this. That's 11. My poise is 1, so I'm gonna just shed 1 down. So that's 10 damage, right? No, that's 11 damage. Wow. And I have 12 health, so 1 health left. Just from 1 hit here, I'm down to 1 health. All right. So what happens at the end of the round is I get my stamina back. I cannot heal. It's not like fighting the monsters. To be able to heal, there should be a card from the boss itself that says boss is standing still and you can heal, or either you can attack him without retaliation. And when you're healing, you can use 1 or 2 flasks of any kind. And I really wish the next round will be some... Oh, here it is. Just what I wished. Alright, so standing still, I can perform a safe attack or use flask. There is a charge attack, which I can parry or block, and there is a swift thrust, which I cannot stop. I can roll out of it. D20 damage, oh my god. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. First I'm gonna duel with this card here. While he's standing still, I'm gonna use both of my flasks. Bring that up. And each of them gonna give me 4, so that's 8 in total. So I go back to 9 health. And that's it. No more flasks. These flasks are replenished after the fight. So either I'm gonna be dead or boss. So that was that. We discard that because I didn't attack. I used flask, so discard it. And now let's see. I'm thinking I need to roll out from this, and if I do that, then I'm gonna try to parry and do maybe a critical hit here. I can also try to block. I do have a sword that can block, but the problem with blocking with the weapons, you take half damage rounded up. So I'm still gonna take some damage. It's gonna be less than I would take from a full hit, but you know, anyway, I have all my dice back. All right, so let's try to roll haste 11. I'm gonna use a d8 and is this a d10? Yeah, d8 and a d10 to try to roll out from that. It's gonna be 3 and 4, 7 stamina. So from 14 I'm gonna go to 7. Okay, and let's try to roll. Dealing with this swift thrust. Alright, I got an 8, which is a failure. Wow. Which is a failure. So I can try to roll again. Yeah, let's do that again. Remember, only when I finish with a card, like if I don't have any more dice, then the attack will be removed. So, damn it. So I'm gonna spend 6 stamina to roll d20 and try to roll out of this attack again. 20, okay, that's good. So I managed to roll out of it, and now we can discard it. But I only have 1 stamina left. So what I'm thinking right now is to try to get some stamina back and roll out of this attack too. I'm not gonna try to parry or block, because even if I parry it, I would need some more dice to do a critical hit after that, and I'm just not gonna be able to have that much stamina to do so. So I'm gonna use a d6 to get some stamina back. That's a 3. So back to 4 stamina, and now, damn, with the 4 stamina I can only use d12 alone. I cannot use a d4 with it because I just don't have enough stamina to pay for it. Okay, let's pay all my stamina, all 4, to use a d12. I'm trying to roll out of this attack. And that's a 9, which is equal to his haste, so successful rolling out of that attack. Wow, that was close, because if I didn't manage to roll out of that attack, I would took d8 damage, which in this case is 5 plus 3, that's 8. Well, I will still be alive, but barely again. Alright. This is a die that I didn't use. It doesn't affect nothing here, just get all my dice back. And we go to the next round of combat. So far I only managed to do 1 big hit, but now I'm kind of fighting for my life. No more flasks, and I'm not so sure I can actually beat this boss right now. Alright, so big attacks. There is a combo attack, then charge attack with the d20 damage, and critical strike with d12 damage. Can parry this. And I can parry this too. Well, if I manage to parry both of these, that's gonna deal with them, and then maybe I can roll out of this. We'll see how much dice I'm gonna be left with. Alright, so I'm gonna try to parry this charge attack because it's the highest damage. I need 11. Oh, by the way, after the round of combat, my stamina should be back, and I get all my dice back. Alright, so what should I use for parry? I'm thinking to use 1d20. That's gonna be 6. And let's try. I need 11 or more. 16 plus 1, that's 17, more than enough. So I successfully parried this attack, and now the boss is staggered. Okay, let me calculate this. So should I go for a critical hit with 2 dice, then use 2 dice to roll out of these? No, I think I'm not gonna do that. So we're just gonna lose this card and get my stagger back. At least I dealt with that. I managed to parry that, but I didn't do any damage. Okay, let's try to roll from this attack, and then I will know what to do here. So that's a 10. Maybe use a d8 and a d6. Oof, that's gonna be very... That's gonna be very risky. These are all high-end attacks. Okay, d8 is 3. That's a 5. I'm gonna use a d4 with that, so that's gonna be 6 stamina. Which leaves me with 2 stamina left to roll all these 3 dice. This is the maximum dice you can also use per card, so 3. So I'm trying to stop the critical... I'm trying to parry the critical strike here. I have a +1 with my buckler though. That's 8, +1 is 9, and that's not gonna parry this critical strike. Oh, I think I'm dead. Alright, so what's left is my d10 and d12. I cannot use them. I'm gonna use my d10 to get my stamina back. I got a 10 stamina back, so I'm back to 12. Okay, and I'm gonna try to roll out of this attack, but or should I use a parry again? Well, using a roll doesn't have any pluses for me, but with this parry +1, my better choice is just to get 11 maybe. Okay, let's try. Probably gonna die here. So I need to spend, how much is 4 stamina? And I'm trying to roll out from this attack. I need 12 or more. And I roll a 1. Which with the +1 here is just 2. And that's it. I use all my dice. Now comes the damage. Let's go from left to right. So d8 damage is 5. Plus 3 is 8. Minus my poise. So that's 7. I'm on 9, so 2 left. And then comes this critical strike using d12, which is 1. Plus 3 is 4. Minus 1 is 3. And that kills me. So boss basically killed me after I managed to bring him down to 19. And that was a boss fight. So what will happen next? This was this boss. Basically, you flip this and the number tells you, but that's the only boss I drew for so far. You would take this and put it back. And unless you not gonna fight this boss again, you would remove special cards from his deck. And then you would either maybe try again, or you can go for the dungeon. Now, when you die, when you fail, you actually have some options, but I didn't add them into the game yet. Depending on the lowest die, roll that you have. So in this case, what we have, 1. That's how many tokens you can get from the NPCs. And these tokens are rerolls, refreshing dice, stuff like that. But I don't have that in the game yet. So next time you try, there is a better chance you're gonna, be able to do something about the boss. And every time you die, you don't lose nothing, but you get some abilities, like get some money experience from that run to just cash in at NPCs and use them for later on. So dying in this game is not really punishing, it actually gives you some ability to deal with the quest later on. But there is a limited number of times how much basically lives you can lost and die, because if you lost all your lives, the game is over, and then you have to make this world again and try to do your main quest again. So that's how it's gonna work, at least that's what's in my plans. Anyway, you saw the fight with the boss, and the end of the fight I would get some tokens and NPCs. I would heal back to my starting values, get my dice back, my flasks would be refilled, and I'm ready, and I would get some tokens and then NPCs. I would cash in my failure depending on my lowest die I roll value. I had 2 1s, so that was the lowest die, and I could be able to try again and maybe succeed next time. In any case, now you saw how fighting the regular monster works, how fighting these bosses works. There are lots of bosses and things to do on the map, and lots of things I need to add, like those NPCs and what they can give you. Different NPCs have different things in shop you can buy from, and NPCs actually expiring with time. So for instance, each of these lands gonna have a different NPC. You go there, and after you bought like multiple times, they will go away. You can also hire some NPCs to help you in a fight. You'll see how that works. It's basically like all the things you saw in Elden Ring that is like in this game, but really simplify as much as possible, so you don't have to track too much stuff at a time. In any case, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Maybe I get better in the full playthrough when I finish the game. Goodbye.